Hello and welcome. My name's Marie and this is my yarn journey. Today is going to be a traditional podcast episode, so I'm just going to update you on my what I've done in the last week with my knitting. I've got quite a few plans to talk about as well, and then a little bit of a discussion on possibly process over product. Anyways, let's get started with what I'm wearing, and I've got on my Sabai top today. A little bit of feedback. I think this is the first time I've actually worn it. It's not very warm in my part of the UK at the moment. To be fair, it's really cold. It's like autumn rather than summer, which is really disappointing because I do want to get out sitting in the garden knitting, but that's not really happened. Been quite a lot of rain and the temperatures are low teens, and sometimes actually this past week it's been under 10. So it's not really the weather for summer tops. I'm in trousers today. I actually had my stripe hype on this week, which I can't believe it for June. You think I'd be in my summer dresses, but no. Anyways, so I decided to wear the Sabai top today anyway, and I've got it on with me black trousers that you saw me trying it on with in my other video. Few things to say. Absolutely, I'm getting used to the size, and what I do like about it is the drapiness, and this amount of positive ease does make it very, very floaty. And this Rowan Summer Light DK yarn is, honestly, you can hardly feel it against your skin. It's lovely, and I can see how it would be pleasant to wear in the British summer. Unless it gets really, really hot, I can't see how this wouldn't be pleasant to wear. So I definitely will use this this yarn again because it's, like I say, it's lovely to wear. Comments on the top, I'm definitely going to make it again because overall it's pretty positive. The only thing is, if you can see, I've only been wearing this a couple of hours and it's already rolling over at the top, which I'm not keen on. And like I say, I still do think it is a little bit too wide and it's revealing my bra straps. So taking everything into consideration, I'll probably knit it again. I'm going to look in stash. I have got some yarns, and I might go and get them in a second actually, so I can show you and see what you think of which one I should try doing it in next. But I am going to knit it again. I'm going to use the same needle size, so hopefully that will give me the same sort of drape and feel of fabric, and then I am going to downsize by one size. So let me just check what size I did last time, because I've got my iPad here because I've got quite a few things to talk to you about on there. I can't for the life of me remember what size I did this top in, so I'll just check if it's on here. Oh yes, here we are. I thought I had a thing for it. Funnily enough, I realised after I'd finished my Feels Right tea, I didn't appear to have a page on Ravelry with it on, which was very strange, so I might need to actually go in and add that. Okay, so according to my notes here, I used a 4.5mm needle, and I was getting a 26 gauge before block, that was. And I'm glad I've put the before block down because that means I can then compare it when I start knitting next time to make sure I'm getting the same sort of gauge. I will have to be mindful of the armhole depth, but I did keep a note of the stitch count I had, so I know that as long as the stitch count at the point I'm happy with is that or more, it will still fit me okay. I use good notes on my iPad to view all my patterns. I like having them digitally, that's great, but I just like to scribble on it and write on it like I used to with the paper patterns. Okay, so I did the 4th size in. I think next time as well, because of the rolling, there's 2 options. Well, I did see a YouTuber actually, and I can't for the life of me remember who it was now, who mentioned they were doing a top, and in the pattern they did a technique that stops this rolling in stockinette. So that would be really interesting to find out. So if any of you know what that is and have a tutorial, link that below, because I could probably, if I did this version of this top again, I could try that technique. But next time I do it, like I say, I'm going to size down, so we'll end up doing the 3rd size rather than the 4th. And then I'm going to do, I did Sabai top number 2, and I think I'm going to do Sabai top number 1, and you get both of these in the pattern, but they are separate documents. The only difference I think with the Sabai top number 1 is it has a ribbing across the top, and I think that will stop this rolling. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll just knit now into me yarn cupboard, and I will get out the other yarns I've got for potentially making another one of these, just so I can show you. So I have a big bag of yarn in my yarn cupboard that has all my cotton or summer yarns in. So the leftovers are at the top there. What are my other options for this? Let me have a look. So I've got this one, which I got on sale, which is like a beige colour, which would be a great neutral version. Or another one that I got on sale is this lovely green colour. Now, I can't remember if this is still the DK, just let me have a look. I think this might be 4-ply, you know. Yeah, this one is 4-ply, and the beige one is DK. So I might have to check if I've got enough in the green, because I might not have. And then I've got, now this one's definitely DK, this pink colour, but I wasn't 100% sure what I thought of this colour, because it does have, I know that the beige does, but it has a bit of a sheen on it. But yeah, these two are definitely DK, so they will be options to try this top in. I think they both look lovely, and I think that's all I've got that's suitable. I've got some black and I've got some navy, but again, I don't think I've got enough of those. So yeah, if you mention in the comments which one you think I should do it in, these two, it's probably the only ones I've got enough in. Just pack this away, because you know I've reorganised my yarn cupboard and it's really nice and tidy now. There's still a lot of stuff in there and it wouldn't look tidy to anyone else, but it's so good because I know exactly where everything, pretty much everything is, and it's all nice. Easy to get my yarn out and my needles and my supplies when I need them. Thinking about that, if you have any suggestions for, so I'm definitely going to try this again and do it in the one with the ribbed version on, I think, and I'll probably do that in either the black or the beige. So you know, let me know in the comments what colour you think I should do first. And I was going to say, does anyone know of any other patterns that are similar to this? that I could try. Maybe that's an option as well. Okay, so the next thing that I want to talk to you about is a finished object, and that is my people shawl, and I'll try and show you. It's hard to show on camera, so I'll try and get a picture. It's quite a nice length, and I think it's an okay depth, if you can see it against me. I'll put it on, but I've tried it on a couple of times, but I'm not really that good at doing it. So, you know, you see all these podcasters do this and they look like they really know what they're doing, but I have not got a clue. But I think this is going to be absolutely lovely in the autumn. What if I can get out of it? Okay, and this knit up lovely. I highly recommend the pattern. Great for using up those special skeins that you've got in your stash that you don't know what to do with. And I use 3 yarns in mine. It does recommend that you use 4, and I think if you used 4 they'd all be under 50 grams, so you'd be able to use leftovers, especially if you've used 50 grams to do a pair of socks and then you've got 50 grams left. You'd be able to use the leftovers in this. So the deep red colour is Ula and Leah, and then the postman's coming. So as I was saying before the postman interrupted, this is, yeah, Ula and Leah, lovely yarn. This is Fibre Optics, which in oatmeal, which is definitely one that I want to try again. And this is the Yarn Badger Peach Dreams, and that was a sport weight. The other two were fingering. And yeah, I just think that you could make this a great sash busting project. You could even quite easily probably just make it a bit bigger as well, but I think it will be quite a good length for a scarf for me anyway for autumn winter. I'm really pleased with that. Once I started doing that, it didn't take me long to get it finished, to be honest, so it was pretty good. Okay, and now I'm going to move on to the main project. So at the weekend after filming the last podcast, I worked solely on the people's shawl until that was finished. So it was nice to get something off the needles. And then I did do a new cast on, and my new cast on is the Rockit tee. And I'll just grab hold of it. Now it is quite bunched up here on the needles, so it might be hard to show you. I have made quite a lot of progress. For this I'm using my Yarn for the Soul Advent. It was Alice in Wonderland themed, and I'm using all my minis to do the stripes. This pattern is by Tanis, Lavallee, and it was recommended by one of my lovely viewers, AJ, and after me saying what I was looking for, you know, V-necks or lower necks and stuff, she'd recommended this tee to me, and I thought, you know what, this would be perfect for this Advent. Although I'm not sure if I'm 100% happy with the colours. They're definitely going to be outside my comfort zone, not normally what I would wear, and it may end up being one of them that I only wear when I'm knocking around the house sort of thing. But anyway, here it is. Each colour individually is lovely, and I'll try and do it to the side there. I've got my hair on it there so you can see a bit better. Now if I just show you it's a raglan V-neck short sleeve t-shirts. If I do show you the increase section, you may understand why I had a few issues with this, or not, as you may not have this problem. I think I cast this on and ripped it back 4 or 5 times minimum. And the thing with this is the increases in this garment are done with yarn overs, and for the life of me I could not read my knitting. So my knit stitch and kept shifting, because you have a yarn over that is next to the marker. What was happening was, on my purl round, when I was purling that stitch, it was moving to the other side of the marker, and I wasn't recognising that that was happening, and I was just following the pattern, and I'd get to 3/4 of the way through the row, or sometimes I'd get a few up and I'd realise that what had happened is on one of the rows it had gone out of line on one of those sections and it had shifted. So it was super frustrating, it really was. I almost gave up, but I didn't. I persevered because I really want to use this this advent. It is one of my bingo goals. So anyways, but I'd say when I'd got up to about the 5th stripe on my final time of casting this on, I finally got to the point where I realised what was happening, that the yarn over was slipping to the other side of the marker, and I could clearly at that point then see where I should be doing the yarn overs and the knit stitch in between. I do think that I've not really done a lot of lace. Doing yarn overs in itself is not a hard thing to do, but I just think I was struggling, like I say, to read my knitting. And it's the first time I've done yarn overs, I think, as an increase method along the raglan. So yeah, it was super frustrating. Now if I can show you the front here, I've joined in the middle, and I think what I'm going to do, not just because of my issues there, because I have kind of got to grips with it now, I think that the yarn overs are carried on down the side of the body. Now I'm not going to do that, because I think if I'd have known how open it was going to be, I may have just omitted the yarn overs and done a different type of increase, you know, make one left, make one right, or the lifted, whichever, because it is quite open, and I don't think it'll matter where it is there, but I don't really want it to be open down the side of my body, because I know that it'll be less wearable for me, and I won't feel like wearing it, because that is going to be very open and you're going to be able to, you know, see my skin, which I'm not really that keen on that, especially not for the side of my body anyway. So overall I think it's going well now and it looks nice. I'm just not sure if it looks like a cohesive selection of colours. In particular, this stripe here really jumps out. Before I got to that point, it was looking pretty good, and what I liked about it was there wasn't a definite a clear division between the stripes. It kind of merged, and they're all like the creamier base with the speckles of colours, whereas that one seems much more of a solid colour, the purpley pink. But there is some of the colours in here absolutely stunning. I absolutely love this purple and green one here. I think that would make a lovely top or sweater. Anyway, I've got quite a few more. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, got about 8 more colours to add in, and then what I'll do at that point is, if I still need more stripes, I'm going to go back and start again at the beginning. I'm not using all the colours from the advent. I don't know if this was in one of my earlier podcasts. Originally I'd sorted out all, I think it was 15 colours from my yarn for the Soul Advent, and I'd sorted them into an order that I was happy with for doing the brioche shawl. Now I started trying to do the brioche shawl, and as you can imagine, because these were the colours that I was using at the top, there wasn't enough contrast for a 2-colour brioche for it to be enough of a contrast for me, first time doing brioche, to be able to see. Again, it was the yarn overs issue as well, to be able to see what I was doing in the knitting and to understand it as I was doing it. So I abandoned doing that with these. I will go back and revisit that at some point in the future. But maybe what I should have done in hindsight is I should have gone back and looked at the order again and decided if I wanted to still carry on in this order. Now it might look better once I've done more of the garment, I don't know. And if you can see, the colour that I'm adding in at the moment is definitely another more solid one, and it seems to have come at a similar point, so that's worked out quite good, totally by accident. But the actual feel of the garment and the fact that it's going to be a V-neck, I'm looking forward to that because I do like a V-neck, and it's quite a very, very open gauge. I'm hoping it won't be, I don't think it's going to be see-through, but we'll see what it's like once it's blocked. But I think it's going to be nice and drapey like my stripy Tolster, because I love that. It's really, really nice. So yeah, I've spent a lot of time doing this, and I should actually be way further on than I am. This has been my main knit, but unfortunately I had those issues, like I say, and it's been ripped back quite a bit. Hopefully you'll see more progress from that next week. I don't think it'll take too long to get that finished once it's down onto the body section, because like I say, I'm not going to do the yarn overs in the body section. I'm just going to knit it round, and I'll just do the joggless stripes, and then on the sleeves all you do is, well, I think in the pattern she just goes straight in with a finish, but it ends up where I think the sleeves are on the 2 rows short of a stripe length. So I think quite a few people have mentioned that they've done the 2 rounds and then done the finish, which I think I will do that because I think that will look slightly better, and I think that's very similar sleeve length to what I did on my striped Tolster. So that will, I know that that sort of length of sleeve is nice. Okay, so what do we want to mention next? I've got a few future plans to talk about, and you know, get your input and ideas on. And I've also want to talk about my yarn ins and outs. Oh, and I have got an acquisition to 2 acquisitions to show you, actually, 1 yarn and 1 bag. So maybe I'll show you the acquisitions first, and then we'll talk about the future plans. So I'm going to show you the the bag first, and I'll show you the yarn second. Now on last Sunday, me and Mona went to a new market they've started in Longton, which is quite near to where we live. They had quite a lot of nice sellers there. They had cheese and meats and crafty type stalls, you know, lots of natural stuff. Oh, fruit and veg, which was lovely. And I got this bag from one of the sellers there, and I can't for the life of me right this second remember her name, so if I can get that information, I will put it on the screen for you. But how cute is that? I just saw it and thought, you know what, that makes a perfect project bag with the button as well, and it's got the handles, easy to take out. Excuse me. I just thought it was lovely, and it was £10, you know, bargain, handmade. And look, it's got a cute little red button there and a fasten, and then inside it's got a little pocket, and it's a good size as well. So yeah, I couldn't resist that. I thought for £10 that's lovely, and it's very season appropriate. And I have got some yarn in there for one of my future plans, so I'll show you that in a minute. Now my other acquisition is let's get it out. Now I have got this, which is Sanders Garn thin line, or however you say it, I don't know. And yeah, it's this colour. It's like a very, very pale lilac. It's 4620. Now I don't know if it is something they're discontinuing, because I've really struggled to get hold of this colour. I really wanted it in the DK. Now I have got some of the DK and some of the 4-ply in the exact same colour. Idea being that I can make a top in that. I haven't decided what top yet 100%. So yeah, as soon as I saw that colour 4620, I absolutely loved it, and I just wanted to get some to make a top with. I've been looking to get some of the line for ages. I'll just show you again a bit closer. But it was really hard to get hold of this colour. I even looked on Ravelry for some D-stash, but they didn't. There was only a couple on there, and they were America, so I wasn't sure that they would send them to the UK. Yeah, I just think that that'll make a beautiful, quite neutral summer top. Like I say, I've not decided yet, and see, what I was thinking was I could hold the 4-ply double and then use the DK with it as well, but that may be a mistake, I don't know. I might have to alternate or something like that. But hopefully I'll still be able to get a nice summer top out of that. So that's all my acquisitions. So I'll just quickly talk about my ins and outs. I'm not sure I've told you the finals for May, so I'll run through that, and then I'll talk about what's happened in June so far. So for May, I had for ins, I had my sock set, which I showed you, and that was 90 grams. Oh, excuse me. And knitting for Olive, I showed you that, the blueberry ice cream, and that was 200 grams. So in total for May it was 290 grams in. And out, I had the cowl that I made when I got back from the Woolly Good gathering, the faded socks, and the Sabai top, which I'm wearing. And in total that was 358 grams out. So for May I was actually a minus, and that's 68 grams. And in June so far, I've not put in that yarn that I've just showed you, but I will do that after I've filmed. But so far in my out column for June, I've got the Feels Right tee, which ended up weighing in at 214 grams. And then I've got the shawl that I've just showed you, and that was 155 grams. And that's where we're up to with that. I don't think, like I say, I still don't think that I'm going to be at a minus for the whole year, but I'm really pleased that I'm tracking it. I've got all my yarn stash organised. I know what I've got, where it all is. I'm trying to use up stash more. Yeah, so I think all in all, it's quite a positive experience, and I hopefully will continue into the next year tracking that. and I'll also at the end of the year have a rough idea of how much I managed to use in a 12-month period, which is valuable information to have, really, isn't it? So you know then that if you're buying double that or treble that, you're not going to get through it. Okay, so I just wanted now to talk a little bit about future plans. So there's a few things that I want to cast on soon. Now I have changed the top that I'm going to do with the yarn that I'm about to show you. Originally I was going to be doing the Dahlia tank top, but I made a similar one, which was a Veronica Lindbergh one, and the fit of it just wasn't good on me. It seemed to puff out here at the side of my chest, and I really didn't like it, and I knew I wasn't going to wear it. So I am a little bit wary about doing that top, and I've since come across another top which again actually has been recommended by AJ, my lovely viewer, and she didn't actually suggest this pattern on it. She actually suggested the designer, which is Jose Paquin, I think, and she's doing a top of hers, or she's about to cast one on, which is similar to the Nuss Light that I'm about to cast on, and it's like a textured summer top, and it's lovely. But I was looking through her tops and I saw this one, and it's called Eclipse, and I'll put a picture here so that you can see. And as soon as I saw that top, I just thought I really like it because it's got a square neck at the front and the back, and I really like the shape of it. It looks very loose and drapey, and it's striped. Now I'm sure you could do it just in one solid colour and it would still look really good, but I thought that I could do it in these, and I'll just get them out the bag. I've put Mona had a bit of a problem with moths. It made me a bit paranoid because all my yarn stash is open in my cupboard. It's in a cupboard, but it is open, and I had a few moths in the kitchen a few nights after she'd gone on about having some moths in some of her fibres, so I just thought, no, I'm not chancing it. So all my sweaters quantities are now in Ziploc bags, all nicely organised and safe, hopefully. So I have changed my mind quite a few times with this knitting for olive colour, but this is going to be my main colour, and this is the cotton merino, and I'm so looking forward to trying this because I've not tried. I've got a few quantities of knitting for olive, but I've not actually knit with it yet. I don't think so anyway. And then this is Toadstool by Dystopic Fibres, and I got this at Yarndale last September, and I'm going to use this for the contrast colour, and I'm very much looking forward to casting that on, and I'm hoping that's going to be one of my casts soon to cast on. I really like it when I find a summer garment or tee with a neckline that I like, because quite a lot of them do seem to be the crew neck t-shirt styles, and a lot of them on me are quite tight around the neck, and I just don't like that fit. So as soon as I saw this top, I was just like, yeah, I really want to try that, and I think those colours are quite summery and striped, so yeah, nice. Last night I also did cake up some other yarn. So I have caked up this yarn, which is for my partner, and this is a Zakami yarn which I got at the Woolly Good Gathering. It's just his colours, and this is going to be turned into a musselburgh at some point for him. And the last thing that I did cake up is this beautiful yarn, which is a ginger twist. Again, I got this at the Woolly Good Gathering, and this is going to be the Nuss Light, which I mentioned before, and that's all over textured circular yoke, and I'll put a picture on the screen. Don't know which order or when I'm going to cast those on, but they're my next few projects. As you know, I do change my mind all the time. And in this little bag I did have, I've got 2 other future plans which I'm hoping to do quite soon, and this will nicely lead me into the discussion about product versus process for knitting. I've got a quantity of this which I'm going to do a Tolster tank with, and I'm also got a black version from a top that I'm going to be frogging, which was a v-necked vest that I made for myself, a summer one that just does not fit me right. It's just it's too big and it's a weird fit, so I'm going to frog that. It's just black. That's in the Rowan Summer Light DK, which I really like, and both of those are going to be used for a Tolster tank, because if you, I can't remember which video it was in, one of my recent videos, I did mention that I'd decluttered my wardrobe and I was looking at what I needed in my wardrobe, and I was a little bit frustrated last night, and that is why I think I decided to do some winding of yarn, and I think it's because after sorting out my wardrobe, it made it very clear to me what I need in my wardrobe at the moment, top wise, and that's neutral, basic tops, but that's not, yeah, so that's what I need. But then, is that what I want to knit? I am very much a process knitter. I enjoy the process, I like the knitting, and I like using soft yarns mainly, pretty yarns that call out to me, and patterns that I enjoy to knit. And I get bored quite easy, and that is why I have all these projects on my needles, because it's not that I don't want the finished garment. I obviously do want the finished garment, but a lot of the time the pleasure for me is the knitting, is the actual process, and so I get to a certain point and I'm like, oh, I just want something exciting and new to cast on. But then, and I've been fine with that to a point. I do obviously want to push myself to get stuff finished, which is why I was doing the WIP accountability. But last night, because obviously I've put this in my mind now, and I've been thinking heavily about what I actually need in my wardrobe and what I'm going to get use out of wearing, I was then like, well, really what I need in my wardrobe and what I want product wise is those plain tops. I've just bought a lovely pair of lilac culottes which I really want to wear, but I haven't got a top to go with them, and I'm just like, oh well, I'll just knit a top, it won't take me long to knit up that top. But then I'm not inspired to knit on a basic stockinette beige top, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm just rambling here or if anyone else has these conundrums sometimes, and it's just like I do know that I want my finished, you know, all this effort and time we put into knitting and making things. I do want my things that I knit to be wearable garments, but it's just fitting those into the wardrobe and how that's all going to work, and how that's also then going to bring me joy in my knitting. Maybe I'm just overthinking it, I don't know, but I think it was just last night I thought to myself, I'll talk about it on the podcast and see if get everyone else's thoughts on this, because it helps to talk about these things, doesn't it? I suppose what would be ideal would be to have one process knit, one product knit on the needles at all times. But as you know me, I have so many stuff on my needles right now, it's unreal. I must have about 14 whips. Maybe that's what I need to do next week, a bit of a catch up with the whips on the needles at the moment. Because last night I was looking and I was thinking, right, well I really do need to, you know, think about casting on. So I was thinking, right, I want that striped top. That is definitely going to be an enjoyable process knit for me, because I'm going to be knitting frolic for the first time, doing those two colours together, which I've wanted to try for absolutely ages. I've had that in my mind, and then I'll cast on one of the Tulsa tanks, which I don't think will take me long to knit, and I'll sort of alternate between those two projects. But I was just quite frustrated about it, and I obviously don't, you know, knitting is a hobby. I don't want to take the joy out of it for myself, and I know it's only me that's doing this, but I just thought it'd be nice to get your thoughts on it, and how to the other side to that is how to motivate myself to, you know, get a few more things finished, which I have got some stuff finished recently, which is good. Just, yeah, there is still a lot of whips piling up, and I don't think there's much more that I want to talk about today. Yeah, who knows what I will have on the needles next time. Your guess is as good as mine, really. Bet you can hear the dog snoring, can't you? He's right there. Okay, so I think that's everything for today. Sorry for if that was a bit rambly at the end there, and I don't know if I got my point across really. But we're just trying to get out my frustrations from last night. Hopefully next time I see you, I will be a lot further on in the top that I'm knitting. Maybe I'll have a couple new cast-ons. Who knows? Hope you're enjoying your knitting at the moment. Let me know what's on your needles and what's bringing you joy. Bye.